Now, here's more from our continuing coverage of the coronavirus issue, and we're talking now with Andy from the Hey Smile Foundation. Andy, welcome. Andy Barber, welcome. What an event that your team are having to coordinate, Andy.
Yes, it's amazing. You know, it's an emotional roller coaster. It's exhausting, and we're just here to try and support all those fantastic community groups, registered charities, and all the town councillors and everybody who's doing this amazing support to the community at this really unprecedented time.
We've been mentioning for quite a few days now the launch of the East Riding helpline number, which is 01482 393919. Now, tell us how the Hey Smile Foundation is involved in that and how it all comes together.
Not a problem at all. Yes, so we, with the Hey Smile Foundation, are working in partnership with the East Riding Council to connect with their community through the charities and community groups, and been giving them support over the last couple of years. That's been an excellent relationship, which we didn't ever plan would come to this point where all that knowledge, skills and expertise would really come together so brilliantly for the response to what we've got at the moment. Nothing's perfect, and the situation, as you're aware, and as your listeners are aware, changes every day and almost every hour. But what I can give to the listeners is that we're doing everything humanly possible to ensure that they have the best possible support and service at this current time. And that's a little bit like twofold. So on the local level, you've got your family and your neighbour supporting you. And if that's not then possible, then that's why you've got the number, the 393919. And we want to reiterate that point that, family neighbour number is the key message. Family members are the most trusted people that we can trust with regards to finances, with regards to food, everything like that. Next up is your neighbour, because you know them and you're living and you're breathing with them. And in a lot of cases, people have got to know the neighbour now. And this society and this movement is making a really big difference for the future as well. And then if you haven't got the support, that's when we step in and we've got the number. And then rest assured, what the number does is it helps us to triage out into those communities and ensure people get the best possible care at that local level.
Now, the important thing to remember, of course, is it is a friendly voice at the end of the line as well, isn't it? So if you are isolated, if you're self-isolating, you need help with food. You need help collecting prescriptions. Maybe you have a pet that needs walking. The team at the end of that helpline number, 01482 393919, they're there to help. And basically, you ring that number, and then I assume that you'll get a call back, Andy. Is that how it works?
So as soon as you ring that number, in contact with the call centre, which is run by East Riding teams who have been trained and supported to know where the support is out there in the community. That comes through our triaging system to support the food, the medications and the isolation element. And that then connects into all of these fantastic groups across the whole of the East Riding, which we're bringing into our community hubs, which are our resilience centres in 9 venues across the East Riding, which is connected into the military movement and the military and the information we're getting in from East Riding Council's perspective and the wider system working with the police, the fire and everything like that. So I want to reassure people who are out there doing some fantastic things in their community, the council, the Smile Foundation, we're not coming in to take over what you're doing, because what you're doing is amazing. What we're coming to do is to give you that additional resilience, information, funding, resources to make that as easy as possible. And that's what we really want to reiterate, and that's what I've been seeing has been so magical across the whole of the East Riding is East Riding Council want to work in partnership with the community, not come in and take over. And I think that's been the fear for some of these groups that have been doing great stuff in the community. We don't want to stop them. We just want to support them because we're stronger together.
I think one of the interesting things, of course, we are only about a week into this already, of course, and it is going to be a marathon race. It's not a sprint. And there's been so much great activity from lots of local volunteers who have responded to the immediate need. But this gives a bit of extra support, to those on the ground organisations, doesn't it? And brings in extra fingers and thumbs as well.
Definitely. I mean, we're aware of, and I say aware of as in we've got recorded an information of 1,200 volunteers across the East Riding, and that's a small number that we're aware of at the moment, and we're bringing more and more into that system. We need to know who these volunteers are. You can do that. If you're a group and you aren't registered with us at the minute, go to www.beecan.org. That's www.beecan.org. That maps that what you're doing, how you're doing it, how many volunteers you've got for us. We can connect into you, give you the key information, tell you the funding sources, tell you the resources that we've got available, and ensure that you're not standing alone, because what's going to happen is your volunteers are going to get ill, your families are going to get ill, and we're going to see a number of those volunteers dropping down. And what we want to do is make sure that we then stand up with you and give you that strength and resilience and ensure that our communities are safe, secure and supported as possible.
And the teams are ready to take the calls, aren't they, on that East Riding special number, that 01482 393919 number?
Yes, we've had over 700 calls already and growing every day. We've responded to everyone in the appropriate manner. We've got connected people on there. There's plenty of people on the calls. And what's really interesting for your listeners as well is part of that triaging is to give you another phone number once you've come through the system. If you're feeling isolated and lonely, you might not want food, you might not want medication, you might have that sorted. But, whether you're young, old, or vulnerable in any way, shape or form, what we're all suffering from at the moment, myself included, and all of all your listeners, it's hard to stay indoors. It's hard not to have that connectivity. And what we've set up is a dedicated befriending phone line for East Riding. And each area has volunteers from your area. So if you're living in Driffield and surrounding areas, if you're living in Hornsey surrounding areas, you're living in Withensea surrounding areas, we're bringing volunteers into that system that are from your local community, which you can connect with over the phone and get that support. And it's really important we continue to talk to each other, share experiences, share what the weather's like in your community, and let you know that it's not somebody in London answering the phone, it's somebody in your community answering the phone and chatting to you. And that's helping them, the volunteer, as well as you, the beneficiary of that call.
One of the things we're encouraging people to do, Andy, as well, is when we're going on our daily walk and daily exercise, if you're passing by, if you're walking down the street, just turn to a window and give a thumbs up and, just the human contact of that, just from a safe distance as well. That could be all the person who maybe can't get out and about, the over 70s who at the moment can't get out and about on a regular basis. It might just be the difference between being a little bit isolated and being a little bit down, and you just see a human face, thumbs up, it can make all the difference.
Definitely, and we've got a text giving launch with a social media campaign, and we're going to be talking to you guys about that in the next couple of days, where actually you can give a high five to volunteers in your community and the people that are helping you in the local community as well. And you'll be able to make a donation if you can afford to, at £5, but you'll also be able to share a text number and via a social media campaign to be able to high-five the volunteers that are supporting you in your community as well. And all of that money that's donated, 100% of the money after the call or the text number fee will go into those communities. There's no management fee from the council, no management fee from the Smile Foundation. We want to ensure we get as much money and resources into the communities as humanly possible, not just now, but also in the rebuild that we'll have to have. This whole communities that are going to need to get back out into the community. My job for a long period of time has been to support charities that alleviate loneliness and isolation. And what we've had to do over the last few weeks as a system and as a country is put people in isolation. So that's taken us a huge step back on what we were doing. And Heart and Golgotha and Beverley Community Lift and all these organisations are going to need as much funding and resource and support to get people back out as soon as we possibly can in the future. And they're going to need that support in the future, not just now.
I think anything we can do, obviously, Andy, to support that campaign, I know you'll let us know about it and we'll get right behind it as well. Andy, you and your teams, congratulations. You're doing a tremendous job right across the whole of the East Riding. Stay safe and keep in touch with us.
Thank you, John.